our resident film reviewer on Sunday Live, David Hart, is here, and word reaches me that somebody not so far away from me right now managed to sneak into the premiere of Prometheus. Is this true?
I did, yeah, it's very true. I only found out about it the day before.
Yeah.
But no, I got to go. I got to kind of walk the carpet and bump shoulders with people. And
did you meet celebs?
I was very close to a few people, including Michael Fassbender and Charlize Theron.
I was going to say, how gorgeous is Michael Fassbender in the flesh? Tell me. I'm talking from a boy's point. I mean, if you were a girl...
he is a handsome man. You know, yes. I recently saw Shame, which was his last movie, which I think anyone who sees it knows that you see quite a lot of Michael.
Exactly.
I know, and he's a very attractive man. And you know what? He's very good with fans. That's something I did notice while I was walking the carpet. He made more of a point of going to see people and sign autographs than he was doing press. And when you go to a premiere, that's the thing I tend to look out for, because sometimes you get people that just kind of walk in and forget about the people that have been waiting all day to see you. But he made a point of going over there and saying hi and signing autographs, and so did everyone, really. I mean, Ridley Scott was there, and I mean, he gave his introduction to the movie right in front of me. So I was literally about 2 feet from Sir Ridley Scott, which was, for me, being a fan of Alien, and being a fan of all his films, actually, that was a big moment for me. But I got to meet, and some people will hope that, I got to meet Fassbender or Charlize Theron. I got to meet H.R. Giger, who designed the original Alien and the facehuggers and the eggs and chest bursts. And he's now like a really old, frail man. But I had the opportunity to run over to other people, but the minute I saw him, I just dashed and had a little chat with him, tried to talk to him about Prometheus, but he refused to say anything. So I was lucky that the film was starting in 5 minutes afterwards. But no, he was a really nice guy. Everyone seemed really cool. Got to give a thumbs up to Guy Pearce.
Oh, no, that's showbiz.
Yeah, and he gave me a thumbs up back. Which is great.
No, see, if I'd have been there, I'd have whipped my high heels off and floored Michael Fassbender. He wouldn't have stood a chance.
Yeah, I think everyone was feeling that vibe, to be honest.
He's a very handsome man.
Oh no, yeah, he is indeed. And even his co-star, Logan Marshall Green, who's an up-and-coming actor, people haven't really seen him yet. I mean, he looks like Tom Hardy, but a bit more the American version.
Oh, how exciting. Now, obviously, the important thing, the movie, Prometheus, loads of hype about it. It's a prequel to Alien. Is it any good?
Now, some people have been misinterpreting what I've been saying, because I've written a review for it that went out on Facebook, on my page, and on Southern Radio's page. And people have been saying, or they're assuming that I didn't like it. I did like it, but it's got a lot wrong with it.
Right.
There's a lot of things going on that at one moment it's trying to be a prequel, and then the next moment it's not trying to be a prequel. So you've essentially got two versions of the same film happening at once. You've got the original script that wanted to be a prequel, and then you've got Damon Lindelof's script. He basically came in at the last minute to do a massive rewrite.
Yeah.
And I think Ridley Scott was so involved, he was getting so involved in the propaganda of not making it a direct prequel, that he thought, right, we'll chuck out all the prequel stuff, keep in the things that the fans want, but we'll set it on a different planet, we'll give it a different outlook, and, we'll just hint towards these ideas. And it just becomes a complete mess because of it. You start to see things that and I can't spoil it, obviously. There might be some people that haven't seen it yet. There are some things that say, right, okay, this is what a facehugger might look like, in its primitive state. This is what a xenomorph may become in the future, and these are what the eggs are like. But all the while, the minute it starts to hint towards these things, the camera pulls away, and you're left thinking, oh right, okay, am I not watching a prequel then? And so it becomes a bit of a mishmash of ideas, the religious versus science ideas, creationism and, birth and all that. I mean, they're very interesting ideas, but it tries to be a prequel whilst trying not to be a prequel.
So it just tries a bit too hard, really?
It tries too hard to do too many things, and unfortunately the script is terrible. I mean, the dialogue in the
Ridley.
film... Yeah, I mean, it's well directed. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's stunning. It is. I mean, this is what I mean. I enjoyed it because it's visually... an absolutely beautiful film to watch. But unfortunately, the script falls apart, characters get wasted, and even though the final shots of the movie are the fan-deserved moments, it just didn't quite do it for me, which is disappointing.
Disappointing, oh dear. So Prometheus, worth a look, but then maybe not.
If you're not a fan of Alien, I think you'll enjoy it. If you're a fan of Alien, I think you'll still like it, but it will be a disappointment.
More from in a minute. That's the What It Is with David Hart is here. He's our resident film reviewer on Sunday Live. He's been telling us all about hanging out with Michael Fassbender at the Prometheues review. But tell us about some of the films that are coming out this week. The Pact is the big horror movie that's out this week. Any good?
No. I'm a huge horror fan. I love films like The Exorcist and Evil Dead and, classic movies of the genre.
Yeah.
This is all over the place. It really is. It tries to be too many things at once. It's based on a short movie by the same director, Nicholas McCarthy. It's a story about a young woman. She returns home to attend her mother's funeral, and she goes back to the family home where her past is a little bit shady, and ghostly things start to happen. Her sister goes missing mysteriously, her cousin goes missing mysteriously, and it seems like a malevolent force is trying to get her out of the house. And it tries to be artistic. The director wants to do really fancy things with the camera. There's a scene where it all goes very slow motion, and the score reminds you of Inception, come Alien almost in a way. Very bassy, very crescendo-y. And it just tries to do too much. At one moment, it's a haunted house movie. Like, again, if you're looking at modern movies, you're looking at Paranormal Activity, things like that. And then you're looking at things like Poltergeist and The Exorcist, and then it tries to become a slasher movie, like Friday the 13th sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or actually more Halloween, things like that. And then it tries to be a murder mystery via the slasher flick with a kind of a direct nod to things like Zodiac and LA Confidential, films like that.
That sounds like a complete mess.
It is. I know. It's barely an hour and a half. It's about 80 minutes on the dot, and it felt like it was 5 hours long. It was really slow.
Yeah.
The acting, it was like watching a really badly scripted episode of EastEnders.
Oh dear.
And we know what EastEnders is like usually. It was really badly put together, and it felt like the director just wanted to make a feature film. His previous movies have just been short films. He's clearly just realised how to edit with Final Cut Pro, and so everything has to be very artistic and very kind of, we're going to do a slow motion cut here and we're going to do a phase here, and it just fell apart. It didn't know what to do with itself. It tried to mash up all these different types of the genre. It tried to do far too much with the horror, and it just wasn't scary. And that's the important thing with horror. If it doesn't scare you,
there's no point.
There's no point to it, and it wasn't interesting. So it didn't make up for not being scary by being interesting. So it really wasn't scary. And if you see the trailers, it's saying it's the scariest film of the year. It's gripping. It's tense. It isn't.
Don't bother. Don't bother with that one. Right, we'll have a little chat about some DVDs in a moment, because the DVDs are out tomorrow, and there's some good ones this week, so we'll have a quick chat about those after Alexandra Burke.